Old Alabama Gardener, and I'm going to answer questions that was asked on a previous video about garlic and honey. Sometime back I made a video on fermenting garlic and honey together and then consuming a certain amount of that each day. So as would be expected, I did have questions about that. So this video is going to tell you the question and then my answer for that question. So one of the questions that I had was how much garlic to how much honey? In other words, what would be the ratio? And the answer is it really doesn't matter how much you make as long as when you're doing the fermenting you have enough honey in the jar to cover the garlic. And I'm going to show you 2 jars that I made 2 days ago. Now, whenever it first starts fermenting, all the honey will be down here at the bottom. And then later it'll come up to the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this up so you can see that the honey covers the garlic. So that's what you want. Now here's another jar that I made the same time. And you see we got honey down here at the bottom. So if I turn it over, you'll see that there's honey at the top. Possibly could have a little bit more in this jar, but that's okay. Now you also notice that the honey in this jar is turning a little bit of a color compared to this jar. And the reason is that this honey here has been crushed much finer and much smaller because that's the way my wife likes it. This jar is for her. This honey here is crushed, but not as small as this one. This one's mine, this one's my wife's. Now this is a head of garlic. This is what's called a head of garlic. And these are, when I break it apart, you'll see this is the cloves. Alright, so I have 2 cloves of garlic. This is called a clove. So if you ferment the whole clove, it's going to take at least 2 months, maybe 3 months, for it to get where it doesn't taste like garlic. You know, when you eat this, like this, it's going to give you a burn. I'm going to call it a garlic burn. So when you're fermenting honey and garlic together, you have to ferment it long enough for the garlic burn to be gone, so that when you eat the garlic, you don't feel that burn in your mouth. Now, if you crush this clove of garlic, it will ferment in about 20 days. So I think it's better to go ahead and crush it. Now, I had a number of questions about when should you take it. And I can tell you that most natural substances that you take are best taken on an empty stomach. Your body is going to absorb it easier and better than if it's mixed with a whole bunch of other food. So the answer is on an empty stomach. Then the next question was, can I take it 2 times a day? And the answer was yes. But you can, again, try to take it in the afternoon before you eat another meal on an empty stomach. Another question that I had often was, how much do I take? And my answer was, I use a regular eating spoon just like this. And so I take one of these of the morning before breakfast, chew it up, swallow it. Now, if I want to, I can take another one in the afternoon and do it too. So remember, I said this was my jar and no one else uses this jar except me. So I'm not concerned about contaminating. Now, if this is a germ and virus kind of a killer, antibacterial, and I put my spoon in here more than once, is that really going to be a problem? So if I put my spoon in there, and I get some, now see, that's still got the garlic burn. I can feel it in my mouth. And it's only been fermenting 2 days, so it's not expected to be ready yet. But I did get comments about reusing the same spoon. Well, if this is going to kill stuff, and I do put a spoon in there that has something on it, isn't this going to kill it? If it isn't, then I don't even need to fool with this, period. Just don't even do it. So don't get too excited when you see me using the same spoon. I had a question on whether or not diabetics could take this. And my answer is, honey is sugar. It is a sweetener. So my best suggestion there is, because I'm not a doctor, that a diabetic consult with their own doctor as to whether or not this is good or safe for them to take. I had a question on how long should I take this garlic honey mixture. And my answer is, you can take it as long as you want to, as long as you don't have other sugar-related health issues. Natural substances are unlike prescription medication. Natural substances do not usually act real quickly. In order to get the benefit of natural substances, they have to be taken usually over a long period of time, maybe even years. So the answer to how long should you take it? As long as you want to. Now I had more than one question on can I use already peeled garlic? And my answer there is I got two concerns. One, how old or how long has the garlic been peeled? Namely, is it beginning to dry out, which then reflects on the quality of the food that you are preparing? And my second concern is where did the already peeled garlic come from? Now, peeling garlic is labor intensive, unless somebody's got some machine how to do it. So I'm concerned that already peeled garlic probably is coming from China. So take that into consideration. So I also had a question about should it be stored in a refrigerator. And in my first video, I did say store it in the refrigerator. But I have stored mine out of the refrigerator, and I don't see any negative effects. So my answer now is no, it does not need to be stored in a refrigerator. After all, the honey is a preservative. However, if you wanted to, you could store it in a refrigerator, and this might be appropriate if you lived in an extremely hot climate area. All right, so that concludes my question and answer series on this. However, if you have questions, put them in the comment section below, and I will address them right there, give you an answer on your question. So thank you for watching.